The Constitution does not confer a right to abortion.
It's been a law for 50 years in the United States, but not anymore tonight. Roe versus Wade overturned by the Supreme Court. We're breaking down that ruling that's getting strong but mixed reaction.
Ending a great day with beautiful sunsets, but by the time we get to tomorrow, we're going to see clouds for the first time in a few days. I'll talk about what it means for our temperatures and rain chances.
I could see them taking cases and perhaps reconsidering those decisions.
And we'll talk about what today's decision from the Supreme Court could mean for tomorrow's access to contraception and gay rights.
From the station with the most local news in our West Michigan, Fox 17 News at 10 starts right now.
Now, with Roe gone, let's be very clear. The health and life of women in this nation are now at risk.
That is what President Joe Biden had to say minutes after the nation's landmark ruling on abortion. Roe versus Wade was struck down by the Supreme Court. Thanks for being here tonight. It is an historic one, no matter which side of this polarizing issue you fall on. The Supreme Court today overturning Roe versus Wade. That 1973 ruling federally established a woman's right to an abortion. Today's opinion now puts that power back in the hands of the states. It's the most notable Supreme Court decision in decades, without a doubt. Right now, 16 states protect abortion rights to some degree, and the ruling isn't expected to change that. At his press conference today, the president didn't mince words about the far-reaching impact of this ruling.
The court's decision to do so will have real and immediate consequences. State laws banning abortion are automatically taking effect today, jeopardizing the health of millions of women, some without exceptions. So extreme that women could be punished for protecting their health. So extreme that women and girls who are forced to bear their rapist's child, with the child a consequence. It just stuns me. So extreme that doctors will be criminalized for fulfilling their duty.
But for millions of Americans who oppose abortion, this is a ruling they've been waiting and hoping for decades.
This is amazing. This is probably the best day of American history in my lifetime. This is incredible, and thank God for all the people who've been fighting for 50 years.
And today's ruling is almost identical to that draft version that was leaked last month, written by Justice Samuel Alito. According to the abortion rights group, the Guttmacher Institute, about half of U.S. states are expected to move to ban that procedure. And the decision almost immediately kicked off both pro-life and pro-choice rallies here in our state and around the country. Our Lauren Edwards was in Lansing getting the pulse on today's news.
The rally now wrapping up, and Governor Gretchen Whitmer, she spoke just saying that as a mother, a woman, a Michigander, and as a governor, she's going to fight. She's determined to fight for women's reproductive rights, which is the sentiment of many people who were out here all afternoon. Now, again, this was supposed to be a Dobbs Decision Day rally, but Planned Parenthood was here. And I spoke with a University of Michigan professor who explained exactly what all of this means for the state of Michigan.
Right now, we have our 1931 abortion ban, but it is held up under injunction. And there's the governor's lawsuit and then the Planned Parenthood lawsuit.
Both lawsuits filed in April will keep abortion legal in Michigan, despite SCOTUS's announcement to overturn Roe versus Wade. However, that 1931 law, which criminalized abortion decades ago, is something we need to keep an eye on, says Anna Kirkland with the University of Michigan.
Now, that injunction could be lifted as the litigation proceeds. So that is a possibility, although I think it's more likely that it will remain tied up in litigation and the injunction will stay in place.
But for many states in the Midwest and South, abortion becomes illegal immediately, which she says will have a direct impact on Michigan.
Michigan would then, in that circumstance, become what we're calling a surge state, where we would see women traveling to Michigan, potentially in very large numbers,
to obtain abortions. Kirkland says she's concerned, though, about the women who can't make it up to Michigan. For them, it could be a matter of life or death.
I'm worried about the women who will not be able to get abortions and whose pregnancies will put them in significant danger. Homicide is the leading cause of death in pregnant women, and that's mostly at the hands of their intimate partners.
She says it's also important to think about what this means for doctors and abortion care providers.
That could be really problematic when when doctors are forced to think about whether they might be arrested, at the same time they're trying to treat, say, a pregnant woman who's experiencing life-threatening pregnancy complications. So how long do they wait until it looks like her life would be threatened?
In Michigan, the focus right now, she says, is the Reproductive Freedom Ballot Initiative. If it gets enough signatures by July 11th, it gets on the ballot. And if it's passed, women here will have the right to abortion contraception and a slew of other reproductive freedoms. However, she says, don't take your eyes off about what's happening elsewhere.
Once the constitutional guardrails are removed, then, you could see states trying to criminalize travel for use of to get an abortion. You could see criminalizing the person seeking the abortion. Previously, it's been mostly about criminalizing providers. Attorney General Dana Nessel has stated a number of times in the past, just as she stated today, that she will not reinforce that 1931 law. And it's also important to note that Michigan joins Illinois, the only two states in the Midwest that now offer abortions. As for us, we're going to continue to stay on this story and give you guys updates and developments as we get them. Reporting here in Lansing, Lauren Edwards, Fox 17 News.
And as you can imagine, the ruling came as very welcome news to those who feel that life begins at conception. Julie Dunmeyer talked to the Catholic Diocese and Right to Life Grand Rapids about today's decision.
Activists took to downtown Grand Rapids today expressing their opposition to the Supreme Court's decision. Meanwhile, the Grand Rapids Catholic Diocese has a different perspective.
I think what I want people to know is that this is a good first step to promoting life at all stages of existence.
A step the Grand Rapids bishop says needed to be made.
Why don't we protect all Michigan citizens? Babies who are still in the womb are citizens of Michigan.
Saying this gives pregnant people more options, and they've already got plans in place. Saying more children is a good thing.
I say that's wonderful. We provide adoption services, we provide foster care, we provide women who are pregnant with what they need.
Planned Parenthood saying those services are the opposite of what women need.
It is our profound commitment to ensure that every patient, no matter where they live across this great state, has access to the health care that they need and they deserve. And I want to lift up and I want to say loudly and proudly that abortion care is still legal in the great state of Michigan.
Adding this isn't just a fight over whether or not abortion is moral or just, rather to keep it safe and legal.
But think about the people that you know, your readers, your viewers, all of whom likely know someone who has received abortion care in the past.
Abortion is health care, and it is essential that we maintain access to that health care in the state of Michigan.
Grand Rapids Police saying they're ready to help people express themselves safely.
We're very good at handling protests. We've had a lot of experience over the past couple of years and a significant amount of experience over the past 2 or so months. So we'll be ready, and we'll provide everybody that wants to get out there and be heard a safe environment to do so.
Planned Parenthood saying their doors remain open.
Planned Parenthood of Michigan, abortion care is legal. We are here for you. Our doors are open, and we're going to damn well make sure that they stay open.
The Catholic Church saying their doors also never close.
I would certainly hope that with all the ways in which we can promote and protect and help women who are in difficult straits because of pregnancy, that these other options would at least be considered.
There are multiple planned protests in the coming days. There's also one planned for Saturday at 7. There's also the Michigan Ballot Initiative, which needs 425,059 signatures by July 11th in order to make it onto the November ballot. The goal of that being to make sure that the Michigan Constitution protects women's right to a safe and legal abortion. Reporting, Julie Dunmeyer, Fox 17 News.
All right, thanks for that coverage, Julie. And you can count on Fox 17 for continuing coverage of today's decision. You can find the latest at fox17online.com, and be sure to follow our social media pages and download our app for any updates. All right, just about 2 hours away from the weekend now, so let's get you your forecast. Meteorologist Reese Cole joins us now with the first check this hour. Reese, what are we in for?
Oh, we're in for a weird start, I guess, is the best way to describe it. We're going to see cloud cover, something we haven't seen in over 3 days now. We've had 3 days in a row of what has been known as 100% possible sunshine, where no clouds obstructed our view of the sun here this afternoon or yesterday. or on Wednesday. So when we see the clouds tomorrow afternoon, it's going to feel a little odd, but our temperatures will still be about as warm as they were today in the upper 80s to around 90. We will have some rain move in tomorrow night as well. So beautiful sunsets here in West Michigan. We did hit 89 in Grand Rapids, 91 in Ionia, as well as in Lansing, 90 just touched in Kalamazoo, upper 80s along the lake shore. It was a very, very warm day, comfortable day though, with lots of sunshine and a fairly calm wind. We're still recording 81 at the Grand Rapids Airport as well as in Belding, 83 in White Cloud. A couple of lower 70s though mixed in here in Fremont, Whitehall, and out towards Muskegon. South of Grand Rapids, we're still at 80 in Hopkins, 83 in Mendon, 81 in Cassopolis. The cool spot up near South Haven at 71 degrees and 70 in Fenville. Now tonight we're going to remain fairly mild. Our lows only going to be in the low to mid, maybe even upper 70s along the lakeshore. Mostly clear skies. The clouds really won't build in until late morning tomorrow. So here's what we can expect. Mostly sunny when you wake up tomorrow morning. That south-southwest wind is going to drive in a lot more air. Notice we'll be near 90 by 5 p.m. Mostly cloudy skies by noon. And then a chance of rain starts to filter in the afternoon and evening hours. That lasts through daybreak on Sunday, but it's fairly scattered, and we could even see a few thunder showers mixed in. I'll have the hour by hour of that rain moving in and when we can expect cooler conditions after the rain moves through. Doug?
All right. Thank you, Reese. Still ahead at 10 with the Supreme Court overturning the 50-year-old precedent of Roe. People are now wondering if other established rights are safe.
But some of the justices, enough of them, it seems, don't really see that way anymore, that sticking to precedent isn't that important. So it's certainly unique.
Now we're speaking to a constitutional law expert about the likelihood of that happening. And a Grand Rapids officer exchanging fire with a suspect. And tonight, 2 people are still on the loose from that incident, where the investigation stands right now.
This is a compromise, but it's the first opportunity we've had in decades to do something worthwhile to prevent gun violence.
An historic gun bill passes Congress today, and now it's on its way to the president's desk. We'll have a look at what is inside that landmark legislation still ahead. With the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade, there are worries that today's opinion opens the door to reversing other legal precedents. Fox 17's Matt Witkos talked to a constitutional law expert and has more on what could be next for contraceptive rights and gay marriage.
I could see them taking cases and perhaps reconsidering those decisions.
Kyla Stepp has been studying constitutional law for 2 decades. She's currently teaching political science at Central Michigan University. Some of her teaching revolves around Supreme Court decisions.
Some of the justices, enough of them, it seems, don't really see that way anymore, that sticking to precedent isn't that important. So it's certainly unique. It makes it more difficult to research and to teach because usually the court is pretty consistent.
Justice Samuel Alito offered assurances that other presidents are not at risk. Justice Thomas is writing a different opinion following the 5-4 ruling to overturn Roe v. Wade.
He's always said he doesn't know why precedent really needs to be followed.
Stepp wasn't surprised by Thomas's remarks about revisiting decisions like contraception and same-sex marriage. She says he has had unpopular opinions compared to his colleagues before. However, Thomas is on a court with more conservative justices this time.
This time he stood alone in his concurrence, but there are other justices on the court that I could see agreeing with him behind closed doors and perhaps taking him up on this, in future terms.
Those cases could come up as soon as a year from now. Stepp says the Supreme Court has already picked some issues they'll decide for next term, but still have room to add more.
Whether they'll move that fast or whether they will kind of back off for a little, let some of the backlash die down, let the public kind of forget right now how angry they are at the Supreme Court. They may take a term or two to involve themselves in some of these issues.
Reporting in Grand Rapids, I'm Matt Witkos, Fox 17 News.
And when we come back from a break, from a traffic stop to a shootout, a dangerous situation for Grand Rapids police yesterday.
I think that the criminal element gets emboldened because they think that the police will take a step back and they think that they're less likely to be held accountable.
How police say this all started as they work to still track down 2 suspects on the loose tonight.
We're seeing quiet conditions in West Michigan, but some rain out on the horizon starting to move in. We'll talk about when that arrives and how much we'll see.
Welcome back. A Fox 17 update to a story that we covered this winter. Somebody was going around Kent County shooting deer from the road and then just leaving them there. Turns out it was 29-year-old Edward Trout of Cedar Springs. He confessed to DNR and now faces 5 different charges, including hunting and fishing without a license. His hunting and fishing privileges have been suspended here in the state of Michigan. Trout is also accused of illegally poaching turtles and could face jail time over all this. He'll be back in court on July 19th. All right, meteorologist Reese Cole back again with what you said earlier was a weird forecast. Now that I know it, I tend to agree.
Yeah, rain, something we haven't seen in West Michigan in well over a week. Clouds, something we haven't seen in West Michigan in about 4 days now. So beautiful, beautiful sunsets here in West Michigan tonight. But the clouds are going to arrive late morning, early afternoon tomorrow. And then we'll see scattered rain showers, and then we'll see much cooler temperatures after the rain moves through as well. So right now we're seeing temperatures fairly mild in some areas, still 81 Grand Rapids. It's unusual everywhere else, falling in the low to mid 70s. So we're sitting quite comfortable, but tonight is going to be a mild night. Lows only getting down into the 60s with a calm wind and clear skies, but the southerly flow has contributed to a little more moisture building in. And out west, there is a much larger system brewing. Right now, we're quiet in the area. Again, no cloud cover, but notice out to our west, all the rain and storms that are out in North and South Dakota, now into Minnesota area as well. The cloud cover is stretching as far west as far western Wisconsin and eastern Minnesota. That's going to slowly move into our area, but we're still in this dry pocket. We're in lots of dry air in general in West Michigan. So by the time we get to tomorrow, that will catch up. But it's not going to get us really until the late morning hours, early afternoon hours. Notice we're seeing the clouds start to filter in. Rain does start to kind of squeeze out of our area going into the afternoon and the evening, and then going through the rest of the night and into tomorrow. That's when this rain is going to start to filter in. We'll see scattered showers going throughout the overnight and into Sunday morning. Here's a look at those low temperatures tonight. Mid-60s for most of us, 67 in Muskegon and in Holland as well. Again, mostly clear tonight. By the time we wake up tomorrow, the clouds are starting to increase, but we will get just enough sunshine, I think, to touch 90 in Grand Rapids as well as in Ionia, even down near Kalamazoo, basically everywhere east of the shoreline, where they'll be in the mid-80s most of the day. But the water temperature is going to be fairly favorable in the upper 60s, lower 70s, and with a southerly, southwesterly wind. Wave height's not going to be more than 1 to 2 feet outside of some isolated gusts as the rain moves through in the afternoon and evening, so keep that in mind. But otherwise, if you are out on the lakeshore prior to the rain arriving, it won't be half bad of a day. It's going to be fairly mild, just seeing a little more cloud cover than usual. 90 degrees for the high on Saturday, back to 80 on Sunday. That chance of shower early in the morning, I think most of us will be clear by daybreak. And then we're going to see sunshine in the afternoon. Monday, more sunshine as well, but highs only in the mid-70s. Going to be a dip in those temperatures as that cooler system moves to the north, and then 80s build right back in. A chance for rain early Wednesday morning. And then as we go into Friday, another larger system does move in. That one is where we could see more broad accumulations for rain. Again, no major rainfall here in over a week in West Michigan, so it is much needed as we get it Saturday night and Sunday, but it doesn't look like it'll be significant. Maybe only a quarter to an isolated half an inch of rain before we dry out once again until the next chance on Wednesday. Doug?
All right. Thank you for that, Reese. Well, 2 suspects remain on the loose tonight after a lengthy police chase in Grand Rapids that started with someone firing their weapon and an officer returning fire. Fox 17's Elliot Grandia was on the scene where that chase ended this morning and has more on what we know now.
Incredibly disappointing.
Reaction today from Grand Rapids Police Chief Eric Winstrom following another shooting involving a teen and a stolen vehicle in the city.
At 3:15 a.m. this morning, an officer was traveling southbound on Prospect Avenue Southeast, just south of Highland Street, and he observed a vehicle traveling northbound without its headlights on.
When police started approaching the vehicle, investigators say a passenger started firing at police. An officer firing back at the windshield of the suspect car. The car then drove off, leading to a lengthy police chase around Grand Rapids.
Pursuit ended in the area of Hall and Eastern, where the individuals exited the car, and foot pursuit and canine tracking took place.
Police were able to track down an 18-year-old suspect. He is currently being questioned by police. 2 other people who were in the car at the time still remain on the loose. However, police do not believe there's a threat to the public. Today's incident comes just months after the deadly officer-involved shooting of Patrick Lyoya. Former officer Christopher Schur is charged now with second-degree murder in his death. Despite recent scrutiny, though, Chief Winstrom says his officers remain focused on getting criminals off city streets.
I think that the criminal element gets emboldened because they think that the police will take a step back and they think that they're less likely to be held accountable. So we need to, it's our job to make sure that criminals know in Grand Rapids that we are doing our job and they will be held accountable.
In Grand Rapids, Elliot Grandia, Fox 17 News.
And Elliot tells us that officer was placed on critical incident leave pending the outcome of the investigation. Police aren't identifying them right now, but we do know they've been with the department for over 7 years. Well, landmark gun legislation passed in Washington today with the most sweeping reforms in decades.
This is a common sense package. Its provisions are very, very popular.
Well, so we'll tell you what's in it that Congress hopes will curb gun violence. And a running enthusiast confined to a wheelchair had the goal of competing in a race on his own 2 feet. Our Remy Monahan has the uplifting and incredible story of how he did it later on in our sportscast.